Hi, I'm Chris Faustman with OR-Fab, and today we're going to go over some of the features of the 2-door and the 4-door rock sliders from OR-Fab. They are constructed of 1 3/4 120 wall tube welded onto a piece of 3/16 formed sheet metal that basically meets right up with the JK pinch seam, and then utilizes these C-channel brackets to anchor the lower portion of the rock slider to the bottom seamed channel on the JK, and gives it its incredible strength and anchoring power. And on the 2-door, all the features are the same. It just fits the chassis of the 2-door. A little more compact version, of course, but still has the same C-channel mounts to anchor the rock slider right to the bottom of the tub on the JKs, and kind of strengthens that entire lower rocker panel. And here, of course, we've got all the hardware complete that's required to install the 2 and the 4-door rock sliders. They come complete with the 3/8 carriage bolts to anchor in the C-channels, and then it has plenty of U-nuts and the stainless steel hardware to mount it to the pinch seam. And then here we have the Rust-Oleum textured paint that we love to use after a good day out on the trails and get some pretty good scars and things. This works pretty much with any of our powder coat, and almost perfectly matches for good touch-up.
Alright, just getting a video of Yates's rock sliders. These were just used up in Moab, most recently in the Rubicon. So you can see a little bitty trail scrapes. And on the other side, again, more trail scrapage, but that's what these things are used for. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have Chris lift this thing up with a forklift, just to show that the whole thing can be supported just by the rock rails. Alright, so he's going to lift the Jeep up just by the sliders. Making certain he's just hitting the sliders. Don't want to get underneath the carriage. So it's like being lifted by a big rock. A lot of articulation in that back tire is still on the ground. Back tire is still on the ground. Just a hair. So that front fork has almost come out. Just a little more, Chris. Tiny bit more. There you go, you're off. So, just so you guys can see, that one's barely on because that Jeep went, and that one's barely on. So you can see that that is just barely hooked to the rails. And as you guys can see, no issues with the rock rails after the forklift lifted it up. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take a high jack and we're going to jack it up with the high jack so that, you know, a lot of people when they're on a trail they're looking for a lifting point. We're going to show you that these sliders can be used at that lifting point. So since we're going to have to lift the back higher, we're choosing to show what this thing would be if you had to change your back tire and use your slider as a jacking point. See how Chris has this thing attached. This is a long arm kit, so this thing's going to have to go way up in the air. By the way, bigger cheater bar would help a little bit. And max this high lift jack out. If you're a 300-pound guy, it's a lot easier to jack these things versus if you're a 180-pound guy. So you're off the ground now, bud. So, not that I would do that on the trail for a jacking point, but we just wanted to show you guys that it could be done with the rock sliders. Chris is just now finishing up putting this thing down. I just want to show you guys what the slider looks like from the jacking point, just so you can see that really there's nothing this jack could do that you're not going to do out on the trail anyway. Here's what we got. So you can't even see where he jacked it. You can just see where I've been sliding on these rails from the different trails. So that's what we got.